Welcome back. I'm Mike, and you're here for another website mic drop. Today, we're going to be looking at a new website called auraframes.com. Somebody asked me to do this. I know nothing about this website, so I'm going to go and check it out now. Okay, so here we are on auraframes.com. I actually thought this might be an eyeglasses website, but I see that it is more picture frames. So share more photos from your phone to a friend to dad's. Okay, so immediately you see I was trying to read this and it disappeared. I'd be curious. I think it's going to resonate just fine. But again, I would always be curious to find out, what do people think about this? Do they get a little bit confused? Not confused is not the right word, but anytime you interrupt someone or take something away when people are trying to read it, it's jarring. And every little negative interaction that you have, whether consciously or subconsciously, eventually can contribute to leaving the website, abandoning the cart, fallout from one of your pages. So share more photos from your phone to someone else's picture frame. Okay, so there's clearly a link. This reminds me of, there's some services in the past that did this, where you have you managed on your computer and then you send things over. But I guess now in a more wireless world, this makes sense, and this is targeting the phone. So we immediately go to Shop Now. I just see two picture frames. There's nothing unique looking about these frames. There's nothing in the imagery that suggests a phone to picture frame connection. And so I'm curious if better imagery might make the homepage resonate more in, let's say, a 5-second test or a 10-second test, where we ask people to recall what the website was about just by looking at it for a few seconds and then taking it away. So we've got Shop Our Wi-Fi Connected Picture Frames, and now we're learning a little bit more about it. We've got a promo here: buy 2 frames, save $15. That's pretty interesting. Curious about how often that promo is taken, if that is the best promo for someone. Most likely, I would assume that people who come to this website are coming to it for the first time, to the homepage, that would see this promo, are people likely to buy 2 frames that have never bought any frames. So for their first purchase, does this promo help convert people to buying multiple products as opposed to just a single product? Now up here, I'm going to scroll back up. We've got share more photos with digital frames starting at $149. Enjoy free shipping on every order with code FREESHIP. So now we've got a promo here for free shipping that requires a code. And then we have buy 2 frames, save $15. Now, is that in addition to this, or do I have to pick one or the other? They're both on the homepage being presented prominently. We do see reviews up here. If you recall from one of my past website mic drops, the perfect 5-star review can be a little bit off-putting, actually, as counterintuitive as that seems. So we do see here there's 13,149 plus reviews that are giving about a 4.5 star. Now, this is a very specific number to put the plus after it, so maybe put 10,000 plus reviews or something like that. The number is a little bit complex, and it might, again, as people try to process a really large number like this, would it be easier just to put 10,000 plus? Curious about that. We've got Shop Now and Shop Now, same buttons in multiple places. Scrolling down, now we start seeing the actual frames. Now, from this, it looks like the minimum frame price is $149. Now, if the minimum frame price is $149 and we're offering free shipping for photo with digital frames starting at $149, does that mean they're offering free shipping on every frame? I suspect there might be a cheaper frame in here somewhere, but if there's not, it's a bit of a confusing promo. Why not just make things easier for your customers and offer free shipping all the time if they buy a frame? If it's that expensive, then just make it free. Now I'm looking at the first row of products here, and I can see that it would appear that the 4th or 5th product here is cut off. So suggesting there's a carousel here. Maybe I can move this. I'm not going to interact with it just yet, but we've got the Carver, two of the same products, different colors, same display size. The Mason, same product, maybe different color frame. Then we have the Mason something. I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to try to drag it in a minute. Now we got Shop Now, Shop Now, Shop Now, Shop. Is Shop Now, in this case, Shop Now and Shop Now seems it's a very general term, which actually is perhaps more appropriate when you don't have a product in mind. When you're looking at a specific product like here, is Shop Now the right call to action for people to drive a purchase. So I would be really interested to test this link, the Shop Now link, and say, one, is it even needed? People just click on the product if they want to go forward. But if you want a call to action, would not buy now be more appropriate and more likely to cause a purchase? It's something I'd be really curious about. I'd love to run a user test on that. Now let's try this. I'm going to just, oh, we've got an arrow up here. I did not even see that. Look at this. We've got gray arrows on a white background. Now it's no secret that gray on white is very low contrast. So it is no surprise that I did not see this, although I have had I have had run-ins with design teams in the past where they are adamant that this just looks good. Well, looks good and works good are two different things. So I'd like to test this, see how many people even notice this way to advance the carousel. So I'm going to advance it now. And okay, so it's the Lux frame, the Mason Lux. Okay, so what we see here is we have two different frames that are the same frame, but different colors. So we've got 6 frames in this carousel. And now what I realize is there's actually just 3 different frames at 3 different price points. And the highest price point frame, the one that's going to make Aura frames the most money, is cut off and difficult to actually find unless you click into it. So I would be curious to test another version of this page where it is the Carver, the Mason, and the Mason Lux. 1, 2, 3. And you put 2 different color options underneath it, which would give you more, less clutter, I should say, less clutter, but a more distinct product breakdown. 3 products, here's what they are. You can get them in 2 colors each. And yes, here's what it looks like horizontally, and here's what it looks like vertically, perhaps. So I like the way this one actually, they showcase it's vertical, and then when you hover over it, it is horizontal. Now, these 2 frames, you're not getting any, there's no point. What is the point of the hover over effect when it is essentially, it's zooming it back? You're zooming back and showing it in the exact same orientation as we did before. Same thing with this photo frame. So you're zooming it back and showing the same orientation. That doesn't give me any new insight into the product. Whereas the Mason photo here, I actually, oh, okay, it looks nice horizontally on a shelf, or it looks really close zoomed up. Same thing with the other Mason here. And as you know, this is, I can see there's something here, but if I try to click, I can't, look at this. I can click and drag it, but that was an interesting effect. I was able to drag it way off the screen. So that's a bit jarring. Anyways, so that's the homepage. I'm going to scroll down. We've got the matted thin frame design with a white mat. Okay, so there's a whole nother product line down here. So we've got the Carver mat and the Walden, but they're doing the same thing here with the exact same frame in different colors. And then we've got a 15-inch frame. Okay, so let's talk about scaling for a second in photography, in digital images. It's really important to try to generate scale when you're showing something. Now, this says new 15-inch display. It doesn't help me. Can the average person visualize how big 15 inches it is? Now, people know an 8x10 photo, perhaps, or they know a piece of, I don't even know if the average person knows that a piece of paper is 8.5 by 11. So a 15-inch display is not really as specific as it is. It might not be as helpful as we think. So I would be curious to, if putting something in the frame for scale, like perhaps the 10.1-inch frame next to the frame to show, perhaps on the hover over effect, hey, here's our old frame, our original frame, here's our new frame, how much bigger it is. That might actually go a long way to helping people realize why you'd want to pay an additional $120 for a slightly larger frame. Scrolling down, dual orientation, works in portrait or landscape. So it's the same products again, but showing them, it's basically, they're highlighting what I mentioned up above. So I mentioned the dual orientation, and now they're actually calling it out, even though they do show it in the photo above. It's actually called out here. Very strange to have a second carousel of the same products highlighting a value proposition that could easily have been shown right in the very first line of products. It is potentially going to confuse people into thinking there are more products, that these are different products down here. And now we've got frame sets. This is a set of 2 frames which is buy two, get $15 off, which is the promo that is showing at the very top. So again, we're just repeating ourselves. We're repeating ourselves, making people spend more time on the homepage and not going into the products to figure out whether or not they should purchase them. Coincidentally, this is similar to the approach that I would have suggested for the 15% larger frame, which is showing two frames side by side. So now we're going to go into one of these picture frames and see what's what. I'm going to just pick the Mason here because it's the mid-range product. And it does have this wire cutter stamp of approval on it. Okay, want access to special discounts. This is intriguing because normally this pop-up modal window would interrupt me on the homepage before I kind of got into it. So I would expect it to be there. And as much as it's annoying, I kind of am used to it. Now, waiting until someone's actually engaged with a product and really wants to start figuring out if I should buy this thing, we interrupt them and offer them something to derail the purchase process, which is give me your email address, sign up to get a discount. Now, I've already seen 2 discounts on the homepage, free shipping and $15 off if I buy 2. So there's going to be more discounts. Am I going to sign up and then have to wait for that email to come in to tell me what the discount is? You might be really derailing the purchase process by days, if not forever. People forget things very, very easily, especially when they're making more of an impulse purchase. I mean, it's not required for their life. Like, hey, this thing broke, I need to replace it. You'll remember to come back to that. But when it's just sort of a nice to have, hey, I'm thinking of buying a picture frame for my friend and I'm going to send pictures to it, that's something that you might think, all right, I'll come back to it, and then just sort of forget about it. So I'm gonna skip this. I'm gonna say no thanks, I'll pass. I would normally click the X, but I am curious to see what happens here. Look at this massive image size here. There's a bag. They're showing a bag that's bigger than the photo frame. This makes the frame seem tiny. I was just talking about scale and offering things in the picture, in the digital photo to suggest the scale. This bag, it looks like a woman's handbag. It doesn't look like a suitcase or an overnight bag or anything like that. And now we're looking at our photo frame, which looks positively tiny next to this bag. So I would be curious to get this specific image and ask people just by looking at this alone, how big is this picture frame? I think they're going to say it's like 4x6. It's a tiny little frame. All right, we're gonna hit no thanks, I'll pass. And now we're on our page, and now we've got some extra. These are the 2 shots from the homepage, an additional picture here, just on an angle, and another picture from another angle, and then another picture of the back of the frame, very, very thick. It's a very thick frame. That's surprising to me. I've had digital photo frames personally that are very thin, and I'm talking 10 years old, 10 years ago. So this is a very thick frame. I'm not sure why it is so thick. It may just be they're going for sort of a 3D effect. I couldn't say. But the way that the port is, this is a power plug, I guess. This is the power plug. The way it is positioned here, I'm very curious about the frame. It looks like it's on an angle, but there's nothing to support the frame in the back. So would it tip over? This is coming in and up, which there's like an unnecessary bend in the cord here. Now, I'm a bit of a tech guy, I will admit, so full transparency. Why is this not plugged directly in, or why is the wire not straight with like an L bend to plug it in? I don't know if this is the most efficient, like this little, it's popping out. It's something that can break off of the back of the frame. I'm very curious about this design in the back here. That's neither here nor there. That's not the website. That's more something for Don Norman's design of everyday things, I think, than it is for more the Jacob Nielsen's sort of figuring out the UX. So we're going to go over here. We got the features, the specs, and the description. 9-inch orientation frame. We're going to put it back to the main image. 1600 by 1200 display. Okay. What does that mean to the average person? You know, it might be better to say high-res display, HD display. Is that going to be more effective than a technical specification for the average purchaser? Add photos and videos with the free Aura app. What does it work on iOS and Android? That's a question. Adjust slideshow speed or swipe touch bar to change photos. Smart cropping helps to center photos and fill the frame. Add photos in advance for a personalized gift. Okay, add photos in advance for a personalized gift. Yes. Okay. And then you give it to them and it's okay. And then it's on Wi-Fi. If I click the image, everything's changing. And let me look at the URL here. Yes, it's actually changing the product. It's not changing the color. This is loaded as a separate SKU instead of a separate color. And this will throw off web analytics. I know that it will appear to be different pages as the URL is changing, but whichever, fine. I'm going to go to specs now. Now we've got some more detail, 9-inch diagonal dual orientation, 9-inch dual orientation, same data. Resolution 1600 by 1200, 220 pixels per inch. So now we're going to go back to features. Again, similar information, but a little bit more detail. Frame dimensions, okay, 9.7 inches by 2 by 7.6. All right, now this is wasn't this specified as a 10.1-inch frame? So now I saw this advertised as a 10.1-inch frame, and now I'm seeing it's 9.7. Not critical, but it's another one of those things that is going to potentially throw off the buyer. Will the buyer be confused thinking they're getting a smaller frame than was suggested on the homepage? Weight, 2.2 pounds, okay. Wi-Fi, 2.4 gig. And compatibility, here's the compatibility. Works with Apple iOS 14 and Android 5.0. All right, we got compatibility, works with Apple iOS 14 and Android 5.0. That is for the person taking the pictures. It has nothing to do with the frame. That is the mobile app, not the frame. That could probably be a little bit clearer here. I myself have just edited out a little bit of a misunderstanding I had about this. And so movie magic, yay, let's move on. So free delivery by Sunday, January 14th. And that is actually tomorrow. So I could have this delivered by tomorrow if I order within 12 hours and 18 minutes. That's fantastic. Gives me a little bit about, yeah, this is kind of where I am. Buy two, save $15. And these look like two different picture frames. Maybe it's making me have to buy two different colors. Why you'll love Aura. We've got some basic value proposition here, which that's always great to provide. Again, let's test whether or not these resonate, if they're the most valid. Free unlimited storage. So I'm sure someone's going to put that to the test, but great. Beautiful frame, keeping memories fresh. And that was from 1/5/2024, and then from 12/11/2023. Love it. We were gifted an Aura frame. So with 13,000 reviews, there has only been 2 reviews, or actually 1 review in the last month, and that includes Christmas. That, assuming that these are the 2 most recent reviews, based on the fact the dates are here, I'm going to make that assumption. 208 pages of reviews. No one seems to have purchased this or reviewed it lately. So that's not necessarily a problem from a buyer perspective, but from a UX perspective, it suggests that leaving a review is not an obvious option. Even though there are so many that are doing it, why has no one done it lately? So I'm going to scroll down, picture perfect from all sides, more photos. Look at this. There's a speaker, built-in speaker for video. I had no idea. When I even looked at the back of the thing, I did not notice there was a speaker for video. And we've got great notation here about what's going on. Touch bar, on and off with sensors, minimal textural frame. Why none of this? I am now a full screen length down on the page below the reviews. The reviews typically signal the end of the page. Do people scroll beyond this? I would really want to know the answer to this one. Coming down here, picture perfect in all sets. I would move this way up here, potentially as part of these images. So valuable to see. And when I look at this, maybe my eyes don't work as well as I would hope. I think they work pretty good. I don't see anything on top here. I see nothing. This speaker, the back is so textured, it just kind of looks like an air vent. So I would never have guessed this is a speaker. Really, really curious if you're missing out on explaining these valuable features up at the top when people are actually looking at the product. Coming down here, family of frames, still trying to cross-sell. Retailers, Bloomingdale's, Nordstrom, Costco, Walmart. I'm going to Costco later. I might actually look into this and see if they carry it and what it looks like in the store. And then which frame is right for you? Look at this. It's all the way at the bottom of the screen. Different options. Here's that 10.1. Here's, oh, the 9-inch. Maybe the Mason I was looking at was I think I was actually looking at the Mason. So it was the 9-inch. And there is the spec. So that was my bad. But if I got confused by it, then it is reasonable that a regular customer would get confused by it. And you got specs and available colors. This is a really, really valuable chart when it comes to figuring out what is right for me. It's just a shame that it's buried all the way down here now. I think we're 3 or 4 screen lengths down, and you got your footer down here. I'm going to scroll up. I've been going for a long time on this video. I'm going to say shop now. Oh, add to cart. Look at that. I almost went to shop now because it's a big button, and that would have taken me out of this add to cart. So I'm going to go here, add to cart, and we'll see what it says. Now I've got my cart flyout. Here it is. Buy any 2 frames, save 15, $1.99. Enjoy free shipping with code free ship. Again, why not just give me the code? Why not just put it in? You're obviously trying. I used to say this in an old job of mine. If it is obvious that you want me to get a promotion, just give me the promotion. Why are you making me jump through hoops for it? It's just one more thing that is a barrier from me thinking about buying something to having it in my house. And so if you really want to give someone a promotion, just give them the promotion. And if you don't, if you're worried about your bottom line and things like that, then don't show the promotion on every single screen. If you're showing it on every screen and when I add something to the cart, just give me the promotion. So let's check out. Okay, I've got an express checkout with Amazon Pay here. Always great to have an express option. Again, curious if this is the best and most effective express checkout option. I don't see PayPal here. If you're going to do express checkout, PayPal seems to be the one that is most commonly used. So I'd be curious how many people actually have Amazon Pay, whether or not that is people use that often. Billing contact information, your email me with news and offers. Again, this is what I would call is it black hat or is it gray hat? This is relatively, it's gray hat bordering on black hat usability design. So making people opt out of something is not good. It's better for marketing. It's better for your CRM. It's better to have more people that you can email, but it is not better for the customer because more often than not, and this is why this is done, and I've had people ask me to do this before, and I really vehemently push back on it. You're not asking people to sign up. You're assuming they won't notice and that they will sign up. So this is one of those things that not necessarily I'd want to test to see if people actually notice that this is here, but more often than not, you're doing this for you and not for them. And so when you make that choice, just know that you're doing it. And people more than likely don't want, they don't want your emails. So then you're going to judge someone in the CRM or the marketing audit team about, hey, why is our open rate so low? Why is the response to our email so low? Because people didn't want it in the first place. You tricked them into signing up for it. So I would just make that defaulted to off, and then email me with news and offers, and maybe put a value proposition right here that says, enjoy 15% off your first offer or your next purchase, something like that, or a purchase 7 days from now. Just set a value proposition and make people want to subscribe. Don't trick them. All right, so your basic information here, first name, last name, address, city, state, zip, blah, blah, blah. Gift note, if you're sending it as a gift, great. Save this information for next time. Yes, great. It's probably going to prompt me for a password. Here's a question mark in case we need to contact you about the order. Always good when you're asking people for sensitive information to provide a reason why. Now look at this. I promise you, I've never been on this website before. I didn't know anything about it, but here it is, 10,000 plus 5-star reviews. So 2 different people designed the homepage messaging or the product messaging, and then the messaging here in the cart. So here it does say exactly what I suggested, 10,000 plus 5-star reviews with a couple of samples of it, whereas before it was like 13,287. So now we've got that, and we've got our discount code. What was it called? Like free ship? Now I'm being forced to remember. It was shown to me every single time. So it was like ship free ship. Let's hit the back button and see what happens. Free ship. All right, it was all caps. We're going to try to do it as lowercase and see what happens. Free ship, and see if it applies it. Okay, it took it. So kudos for not being case sensitive on the discount code. I'm not going to go through the checkout process. I've gone through a lot of this. I haven't even looked at any of their navigation or anything. Let's real quick shop frames. Very easy to break this down by the size of the frames, and with a what frame should I get? Big, perfect opportunity to have navigation here. If I click shop frames, what is it going to go to? Basically the same content that was on the homepage. This is the exact same. literally it's the homepage just brought into. Oh, it is the homepage. It just slid me down. How it works? Just it's all the homepage. There's no other content on the site, so I didn't waste any time. But the navigation does seem to be a bit of a waste. Now the gift aura, that is a unique page. But once I know that the shop frames is the homepage, how it works is the homepage, will I continue to click on things in the nav, or will I just scroll down and assume that whatever was meant to be told is going to be there? I'm very curious about this help. Let's see what happens when I click help. Okay. Aura customer care is here to help. White text on a brown or beige background. Again, not the highest contrast, but now we've got gift setup, frame setup, online user manual, privacy. Font size. Let's think about font size. The font in the content is smaller than the font in the navigation. That might be something you want to test, see if people can actually read this easily. There's so much space here that we can use, and there's nothing really being shown. We've got shipping and orders, gifting aura, getting all set up. So actually some of the things here are down below twice. Troubleshooting, managing photos, and more FAQs. What if I want to get in touch with it? Okay, contact us is here, but it's not in the help area, which is typical. There's need more help. The knowledge base, search all the way down here at the bottom. That is not, why not make this look like a button? Do people realize that this is a button right out of the gate or not? I certainly didn't. It's one big bar. If it looks like a button, it is a button. If it doesn't look like a button, it isn't a button, just by default. And coming down here, oh, look at this. This has happened once again. I was sort of covering this up, so we're going to give this a pass. But there's a help button down here. Need more support, contact customer care. Is that only valid on this page? Help. When I click it, it's a chat. Monday to Friday, so this is not valid today. It's a new chat bot. Wah, wah. All right, let's get clicking off of it. It's not going away. I have to click X down here and go back to the home page. Okay, the help and customer service was not on the home page, so I'm going to go, oh, it was only available on help. And there might be a lost opportunity there, but they do have the need more support customer care. Now notice, even when I was sort of covering up the box, I did not notice this at the bottom. It just looked like sort of a footer. Again, the contrast black on a, I don't know what color, how to describe this color, but it's more of a terracotta. It's not strong. It's not strong contrast, and it's not obvious contact customer care. It's sort of very muted, mixed in with all this black that is down here, which really pops. Black, white on black pops. So I'm looking here. Now look at these huge font for the footer. And just different font. There's just different font sizes all over the place. That may be something you want to test out. But if I click on Contact Us, here's a whole Contact Us page. We're here to keep new memories alive. Another website that I will guarantee you is designed for mobile and not for desktop. The reason I know that is because this massive cinematic image here takes up the entire screen for no reason. Don't discount desktop users. I'm testing this on a desktop today, and you're literally, people are trying to get in touch with you for some reason, and you're frustrating them more by making it harder for them to get to the contact information. So contact us. We're here to keep new memories in your life. That, I don't mean to offend. That's kind of a useless thing to write. It's a nice thing, and probably the page template requires a subheading for the title, and so you filled in something that was kind of more of a Jack Handy kind of a reference. Now, I go to customer care, visitor online help center. Isn't that where I am right now? Am I not in the online help center to view our FAQs or submit an online request? Literally, I'm in the contact us. Oh, I'm not in help. I'm in contact us. Contact us usually means help. So now I've got to go to another online help center, and then wholesale accounts, press. This is usually in an investor area. Corporate orders, fill out this form. This is a mishmash of stuff in Contact Us. I'm going to go to the Online Help Center, and now it takes me back to the help from up here, which was not Contact Us. But okay, all right, I'm going to go back to the home page, click that, takes that away. If there's an option to close this, we'd actually get more valuable real estate for our products by allowing you to close the promo. Great indicator here for the cart. Again, this shop now option here, I think, is probably not valuable. This is really where search should go if you have searching for a product. I don't know there's that much to search here, but A lot of things to consider on this website, things like font sizes, contrast, call to action buttons, the product imagery and scaling, a great bunch of things that I would absolutely recommend get put into a user test, whatever product you're using, or even just getting some people, get them on Zoom, talk to them, Teams, whatever you use, get feedback from actual customers about whether or not they understand what this stuff is, the sizes, the dimensions, the technical details. Does the average person understand that? I think there's going to be opportunities to make the website a little bit clearer. That's it for this website mic drop, and I will see you next time.